A parent's love. Well, it's the greatest love of all, really. I have 4 children, and they've all given me trouble, especially during their teen years. But no parent's love is greater than that of our Father God. His love is the most unconditional love that is possible. He even gives us an example of that love. Let's have a look at Luke 15, verse 11. Jesus continued, "There was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, 'Father, give me my share of the estate.'" Wow, that was pretty insulting. Generally, we wait till our parents pass away before we look for our inheritance. But this boy was really saying to his father, "Your money is more important to me than you are." Do you think the father got mad at his son? Do you think the father threw him out of the house? No. That's because the Father in this example is our Father God. And He loves us so much that He obliges us. So the father in this example, he knew that his son had to learn the hard way. I'm sure that the son in this example was sick and tired of his life of work and rules and couldn't wait to get to the big city to enjoy life the way he felt would be fun. So let's see how it went for this young man. In verse 13, not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in that whole country, and he began to be in need. Well, now he was in a fine mess. Did he go back to his dad? No. I'm sure he felt as though he could solve the problem himself. Let's see what he did next. Verse 15. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to his fields to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. Ew, can you imagine? So he went from eating the best meals to actually being so hungry that he wished he could eat pig food. Well, many of us have to get that low and desperate before we come back to God. Why is that? Why is it we can't be spending this kind of time with Him when things are going well? Why do we turn our backs on Him whenever things are going fine? Well, that could be a whole other sermon. Let's see what brilliant idea the boy came up with next. In verse 17, when he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare? And here I am starving to death. I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him." Well, for his father to see him when he was still just a little speck off in the distance, his father must have been looking for him. I imagine this Father, our God Father, watching for us every day to come to Him. His father was so happy to see his son was still alive and wanted to come to be with him that he actually ran to him. He didn't even care how silly he looked. He just cared about his son. In verse 21, the son said to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." Well, notice that the son does not say, "Make me like one of your hired servants." Well, I think it's because he felt he didn't need to say that, because his father ran to him and hugged him and kissed him. So he knew his father already accepted him and forgiven him. Well, do you think the father said, "I told you so"? No. Do you think he got mad at him for squandering all the money? No. What did the father do? Let's look in verse 22. But the father said to his servants, "Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." So they began to celebrate. This is how I imagine heaven is whenever a child of God is saved. A big celebration and feast. Your Father is waiting for you all day, every day. Find the time to spend with Him. He loves you so much that He's waiting for you and He's looking for you. So find the time to spend with Him. Thank you.